So next gen's nearly here. This week we're gonna know more. For 7 years we've had the PS4. It is the pinnacle of console gaming. Sorry, various haters. I did say console though, so PC fans, don't shoot me. And now this holiday season we have 2 new consoles, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. But to build up that money-making hype machine, money-making hype engine, both console creators, Microsoft and Sony, have either held or are going to hold conferences to show off their products. Microsoft's went really badly. In typical Microsoft fashion. But now it's Sony's turn on Thursday. What should we expect? Disappointment? Anticlimactic events? Probably not, but we said that about the Xbox conference, so, you know. Hi, hey, hello, welcome to my video on the future of gaming Sony event. First off, please subscribe, like and share if you can. It really helps the channel out. Obviously just starting and trying to get YouTube to notice me. Anyway, as I said, Sony have planned a big conference this Thursday to show off their next generation console and games, promising to show us what next gen is capable of. What will they talk about and what will they show? The boring, already spoken about bits. Most Sony conferences since the dawn of time generally start with them showing how much they sell and how big their console is and how great they are and how they're the king of the generation. I say that sarcastically, but I mean they kind of are the king of this generation, so meh. Anyway, Sony will reiterate comments that they've made about next gen. For example, exclusives coming to PS5 will not be coming to PS4, which is a slight change to normal, as for the first 2 years of a console's generation life cycle, they will tend to support both, because people don't always want to spend the money, 500 quid or so, to upgrade to the next console straight away. So this is a more aggressive scheme than usual to try and get people to upgrade from the 100 million consoles sold PS4 to the PS5, however many that's going to be. They'll probably also talk about how every developer's been told any PS4 game from July 13th that's submitted to Sony for testing and publishing will no longer be able to be just for PS4. Every game has to be upgradable to PS5, or else it won't be published. Sony will spend a lot of time talking about load times. They have spent a lot of their time already talking about load times. How the power of the new solid state hard drive versus the old hard drives means that loading screens like this won't exist anymore. I mean, they will, but they'll say they won't. They will tell us more, itchy foot. They will tell us more about their new audio system, which should introduce more immersion into games and better spatial awareness than has been seen before. Games are kind of moving that way in terms of Fortnite and COD, where you can hear footsteps from a distance with certain headphones, and it's probably a good thing to increase that, because I'm sick of my COD mates dying from not hearing where the enemy is. They might even slip in a little bit more about how they want you to take pictures of your ears and send them to them at Sony so they can tailor the audio of your console to your ear. They will reiterate their commitment to backwards compatibility. They kind of fumbled that at the start when Sony said the top 100 games will be backwards compatible, and then Microsoft said all of their games will be compatible, and then Sony kind of backtracked a bit and said thousands of games will be compatible at launch. They'll reiterate and say that nearly all of them will be compatible at this point, otherwise they'll get shafted. They'll probably use a slogan like best on PlayStation 5, or increase the PlayStation Classics line that people buy. The new interesting and shiny things. Sony will mainly focus on the reasons why you should buy a PlayStation right this second. So how does one do this with exclusives? Sony announced Last of Us 2, Dreams, and Ghosts of Tsushima. this as the only announced exclusives this year. This means all of Sony's 15 in-house studios are either working on or supporting developers in building games for next gen. So quickly about those 3 games that are already coming out this year. Naughty Dog's Last of Us comes out this month, pre-ordered. Naughty Dog will obviously port Last of Us 2 over to play at PS5 as a launch game, mainly because A, it looks like a launch title for a PS5 anyway, and B, that's a big game for people who might be migrating from the Xbox One to the PlayStation 5. It's an exclusive they might have missed out on. Sucker Punch and Media Molecule, who do Ghosts of Tsushima and Dreams, will do the same thing. That will be 3 of your launch titles they'll talk very briefly about, but they will mention that as free upgrades, potentially. Insomniac Games, recently acquired by Sony, finally. They make Spyro, they make Resistance, and now Spider-Man. Spider-Man on PS4 sold 13 million copies worldwide, making it one of the biggest exclusives for PlayStation ever. And if you don't think they're going to be working on a sequel to that, I got some news for you. Sony have been heavily using PlayStation 4 Spider-Man as concept for their PS5, showing the difference between the PS4 and PS5 load times with Spider-Man. I think that in this announcement conference thingy on Thursday night, I think they will show off at least a teaser or a date saying Holiday 21 for Spider-Man, and maybe even a little Venom teaser. Who knows? Guerrilla Games. Guerrilla Game. Guerrilla. The guys who make Killzone always have a launch title for PlayStation. See Killzone 2, Shadowfall, and they always do this to show off the graphics of their new console, as their engine is fairly pretty. This time we'll have the sequel to the smash hit Horizon Zero Dawn. This is almost a certainty, so you should expect a full trailer and gameplay segment for this and spend 20 minutes on it, showing off the original game, then the jump to this game, because I think that's what's been missing in Microsoft conference, showing the difference between last gen and this gen, giving some positive movements forwards. The first game is being released on PC this summer, probably to build up hype for the second game. There'll probably be new mechanics, there'll be weather effects based on the DLC from the first one being snowy. I'm expecting similar things to the first game, but we'll see what happens. However, Guerrilla Games have hired multiplayer shooter staff recently, so I wouldn't be surprised if, at least not at launch, but during the life cycle of the PS5, we get a Killzone / unannounced shooting IP release from Guerrilla Games as well. Keep that in mind. Santa Monica Studios, the developer behind God of War, will almost certainly be in attendance. They will pretty surely be working on God of War 2. God of War 2018 sold massive numbers and units across the world, and it's almost impossible to think that they won't be making a sequel. Cory Barlog has been more active on Twitter recently and been talking about the conference. I think he'll be there. I think they'll show at least a teaser a la the Spider-Man bit that I showed, probably with Odin, Thor, like was teased at the end of the first game. Spoilers if you haven't played it already, it's been nearly 3 years. Deal with it. Polyphony Games as well will be coming with a Gran Turismo 7 new Gran Turismo game. It's going to come out at launch because it will have to show off the graphical power of the PS5. As I said, it's all about graphical power, it's not about fun. It's a driving simulator and they're just boring as Speaking of boring games, Knack 3. Knack is bad, Knack 2 is bad, and they should stay away from my consoles. But I get the feeling that Mark Kearney's contract with designing the architecture for the PS5 and being involved in all the design elements means that he probably gets to make whatever game he wants. And that's probably Knack. Leave Knack in the discount bin, guys, please. There will almost certainly be an element of Fortnite involved. One of the biggest games on the planet still, for some reason, will be moving over to PS5 and Xbox Series X. I don't doubt there'll be some sort of showing of the next gen here. I think it's a big push for younger people to upgrade to next gen consoles by having the younger people's game show up there. The rumour theories. Just a short one here. There's a couple of rumours that I want to just discuss quickly and let you guys know of. I think either a Resident Evil 8 with a VR aspect or a Silent Hill game will probably be coming to this conference. There's been rumours for a long time that Silent Hill is being rebooted with the Japan studio, and it's been a while. They won't show both because having 2 horror games, one exclusive and one not an exclusive, wouldn't make any sense. My quick out there theories. a rebooted / sequel for Resistance. Been gone for a while. They own Insomniac, but Insomniac won't make it. I think the most likely announcement will be that someone from Bend, Sony Interactive Entertainment Bend, will be making the game as they made the PS Vita and PSP versions, and it'd be pretty cool to see that come back, you know. SOCOM 8, I have no interest in SOCOM or anything like that, but loads of people like it. It's another shooter. There's rumours for a long time that's being created, so that might show up. The Elusive Agent game, which was announced many years ago at an E3, and then never talked about again by Rockstar, the guys who make GTA, and recently the IP was renewed, so they still obviously want to make it at some point, but it was supposed to be a PS3 exclusive, so maybe we might see something, an actual gameplay trailer of Agent. We've got a bit of time until GTA 6, why couldn't that be done? And my last out there theory is probably going to be Bloodborne 2. Not my type of game, but the first one did so well, I don't see why they wouldn't try and do an agreement with From Software to do more. The ultra surprising, but wait, there's more. Now, Sony ends their conferences with the sizzle reel most of the time, and I think what they'll do is they'll show bits and pieces of every single game that they've shown off in the thing, any game that's on PS4 that's being upgraded already, that's been announced, and then at the very end they'll show off, like they have in the announcement trailer, of the controller turning, and then I think they'll show the PlayStation hardware off for the first time. I think they've waited far too long. I think if they wait much longer to announce the console design, the hype and the anticipation will turn to frustration and apathy. So I would expect that at the end as a big mic drop moment. However, be prepared.
Yeah, be prepared. Yeah, we'll be prepared. For what?
Because the rumours are that it's going to be a thick boy.
Damn, boy, he's thick!
Some cooling issues, apparently, so prepare your TV stands, ladies and gentlemen. There's an outside chance that they might reveal some pricing, but I think they'll wait until Xbox do it first as a kind of know you moment, and then one of them will undercut the other. So expect a $500 price point, £499 maybe. But that's some of the things that I'd expect to be shown at the conference this week. It's on Thursday at 9 PM GMT. You can turn that into American time if you need, but these are just some of the expectations that I've had from previous PlayStation announcements and going forwards, and I might do another video explaining what I got wrong and what I got right and go, haha, I told you so. But we'll see where we get to. Hopefully you found this interesting and you're just as excited as I am for the announcements. I'll be watching it. Let me know what you think of it if you're watching it too. Drop me a message, and I'll see you in the next video.